Hello students. So today we will start the sample question paper which is given by CBSE for term 1 class 10 science. Now in this paper they have given three sections, section A, B and C, where section A has been divided into 24 questions where you need to attempt any 20 questions. Section B has 24 questions where you need to attempt any 20 questions, and section C has 12 questions where you need to attempt. If you are writing 20 questions and suppose the last questions you are not sure and you have marked the answer in the OMR sheet, now you cannot remove the answer because you have already written and you are just the 21st question and you are writing the 21st question correctly. But then also they will not see the 21st question, they will see only the first attempted 20 questions only, and they will not give the marks. Okay, let us start the questions. So the first question they have given: Rima took 5 ml of lead nitrate solution in a beaker and added approximately 4 ml of potassium iodide solution to it. What would she observe? A. They given the solution turned red. B. Yellow precipitate was formed. C. White precipitate was formed. D. The reaction mixture became hot. Now if we see the reaction which occurs here is they've given lead nitrate, so PbNO3 whole 2 is the formula for lead nitrate, plus we are adding potassium iodide, so that is Ki, and it gives. Now see, since potassium is more reactive than lead, so it will displace lead and the lead will take the position of potassium, so it forms lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. Now this is a double displacement reaction. You can see from here, since potassium is displacing lead and lead also coming to its place, so both are displacing each other, so it is a double displacement reaction. And here we can see the yellow precipitate is formed, that is the lead iodide. That is the lead iodide. Okay, so the option will be now the option we need to select is number B. Next we will go to question number 2, where the question is identify gas A in the following experiment. Now what is this gas A? You need to find it. Here we can see in the test tube, in this test tube, zinc granule is given, zinc granule, and dilute sulfuric acid is given. Now what we know from here, that metal is given plus acid is given, that is the dilute sulfuric acid. Now we know that whenever metal get reacted with acid, it forms salt plus hydrogen gas. Now directly we can select the option, that is the hydrogen gas. And another way you can see the gas which is produced inside this tube, glass tube, it is taken out through a delivery tube and it is given out inside the soap water, where it forms small bubbles, and these bubbles, whenever we burn it, it gives a pop sound, and we know that hydrogen burns with a pop sound. So in both the way we can find it that our correct option will be hydrogen gas. So next, third one, we can see the question. Metal they have given with dilute hydrochloric acid, which gives metal salt and gas. This you already know. Now they have given some combinations and you need to find the correct combination. Always you see this part, because sometimes they may write which one is not correct, or sometimes they write correct or not correct. So you need to see it properly. Here they have given correct, so you need to find the correct one. Here what they have given, metal they have given one side, and another side what are the gas evolve or gas evolve or not. They have given yes or no. Now first is copper and gas evolve is yes. So what it should be? Let us check. Now in this case they are telling that for question number 3, that copper, that is Cu, whenever we are mixing with hydrochloric acid, it is forming some gas. So obviously it will be the H2 gas, hydrogen gas. But can it be possible? Let us check the reactivity series. So you can see the reactivity series from your book of NCERT, that is page number 45, where you can see there is a chart given. Potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper. So the first one is having the most reactivity, most reactive one, and last one is the least reactive one. Now in this case copper and hydrochloric acid is given. Now copper, it should displace hydrogen, then only hydrogen gas will be produced. Now copper is below hydrogen, so it is not possible for copper to remove hydrogen from HCl. So this cannot be possible. From here we can find that since copper is less reactive than hydrogen, so the equation cannot be possible. That means the reaction cannot be possible. So first one, the question whatever they have given, it is not possible, because they are telling gases evolve. So how can the gas evolve if there is no reaction? Second one, iron, whenever we mix with hydrochloric acid, it should give the hydrogen gas. So let us check again. So iron, it is less reactive or more reactive than hydrogen. You can see from the reactivity series. Here you can see hydrogen here, and another they have given iron. So iron is here. So iron can obviously displace hydrogen. So it is possible. So this is the correct one. So iron, it can react with HCl, dilute HCl, and it can remove hydrogen and it can form hydrogen gas, and hydrogen gas can be evolved. So it is possible. So second one is possible. Third one, magnesium, whenever we add with hydrochloric acid, they are telling gas is not evolved. Can it be possible? Now here in the reactivity series we can see that they have given magnesium. So magnesium is here and hydrogen is here. So magnesium, yes, it is possible to displace hydrogen and hydrogen gas will be evolved, but they are giving it cannot be evolved. So again, this is wrong. It cannot be true, or it cannot be correct. Fourth one, zinc. So zinc, whenever we are adding with hydrochloric acid, obviously it can displace hydrogen. Yes, from the reactivity series we can see reactivity series, zinc is here and hydrogen is here. So it is above hydrogen, the zinc, so that's why it can displace hydrogen and hydrogen gas can be evolved. So fourth one is correct. So here we can find that number 2 and 4 is correct. So that is number it will be 3. It is D, sorry, 2 and 4. Next is, which of the following correctly represents the balanced chemical equation? Now you know, in a balanced chemical equation, both the reactant side, the total mass of the reactant side should be equal to the total mass of the product side. Now whichever substances are on the left side, those are called as the reactants, and whichever are on the right side, those are called as the products. Now here iron is 1, here it is 3. Obviously it cannot be possible. Number B, 3 iron is here, 3 iron we are getting. 4 into 2, 8 hydrogen, here 4 into 2, 8 hydrogen. So 4 oxygen is here, so 4 oxygen. So number B is the correct option. Others also you can check, they will not be correct. 3 iron, hydrogen 2 is there, but oxygen is 1, oxygen is 4 here, so it cannot be correct. Number D, 3 iron is there, 3 iron is there. For 8 hydrogen is there, only 2 hydrogen is, so it is not possible. So number B will be the correct option. Next, number 5, you can see the question that the graph given below depicts a neutralization reaction where acid and base, alkali is the water soluble base. Whenever acid and alkali it react, it forms salt and water. Now the pH of a solution changes as we add excess of acid to an alkali. Now they have given one graph, and in this graph they have given the pH level from 0 to 14. So as you know, there is a marking where you found that one part is for acid, that is from 0 to 7, and 7 to 14 it is for base, and 7 is for neutral. Now here also you can find that pH, that means this line if you connect, so this part is totally for the base. Now here we are adding excess of acid to an alkali. Now acid you are mixing more and more with base. So whenever we are adding more and more acid to the base, slowly the bases they are getting neutralizes. They are getting neutralizing, and ultimately what it forms, most of it will be acid. Now slowly whenever it reaches 7 it becomes neutral, and below 7 we can see the whatever area it is showing, that will be denoting the area which is both acid and salt, because acid will be more there, so more and more acid will be formed, and obviously acid plus alkali we are getting salt there, salt will remain there, and water is present. Now which question is, which letter denotes the area of the graph where both acid and salt are present? So obviously it will be number D. So D option will be the correct option. Let us go to question number 6. In the reaction of iron with copper sulfate solution, copper sulfate plus iron, it forms copper plus iron sulfate. Now here iron, we know that iron is above copper, so iron is displacing copper, and it is a single displacement reaction where iron displaces copper and copper is alone here, and iron take the position of the copper and it forms iron sulfate. Now question is, which option in the given table correctly represent the substance oxidized and the reducing agent? Now here you need to know what is this oxidizing agent and what is this reducing agent. Now oxidizing agent, now from the name agent only you can find that the substance which helps in oxidizing, those are called as agent. For example, here we can see copper sulfate plus iron. Now oxidizing agent are the substances which oxidize the other one and they are getting reduced, and reducing agent are the substances which helps in reducing the substances and themselves getting oxidized. Now here in this case we can find that iron, it get oxidized here since oxygen is getting added, and it is helping copper to getting reduced, so it also becomes a reducing agent. So the first option will be the correct one, so others cannot be true here. Iron and iron sulfate, it cannot be true. Copper and iron, copper cannot be oxidized here because copper is alone here. Here oxygen is there, here it is getting reduced, so it cannot be correct. Copper sulfate and iron is given. Copper sulfate, it cannot be true, it cannot, yeah, it is not getting oxidized here, so that is incorrect. So number A is the correct option. Next question, you see the chemical reaction between copper and oxygen can be categorized as copper and oxygen. You know, copper plus oxygen, it becomes copper oxide, which is forming a single product. So we know that if two substances A plus B, it forms AB, forming a single product, those reactions are called as combination reaction. So option C will be the correct answer. Here copper and oxygen, you can see here copper plus oxygen, it forms copper oxide. So here we are just balancing the equation. So ultimately this is one product from two or more reactants react to form a single product, so it is a combination reaction. So number C will be the correct option. Number 8, you can see which of the given options correctly represents the parent acid and base of calcium carbonate. Now parent acid and base of calcium carbonate, so you need to get acid should be present and there should be calcium carbonate. So parent acid is hydrogen chloride, NaOH is the base, so we cannot get carbonate here because no carbonate is present here. This is acid, no doubt, but here no carbonate is there or no calcium is there. Second one, we can see, okay, there is a chance because carbonate is here and calcium is also here. Obviously B will be the correct option. Others, we can see they are not having carbonate here, they are not having they are having calcium, but carbonate is not here. Number D option, sulfuric acid is here and calcium sulfate, so it cannot be true since carbonate is not there. So it is like it is very simple that B option will be the correct answer. Next, number 9, you can see that how will you protect yourself from the heat generated while diluting a concentrated acid. Now see, there is a way to add acid and water. You know that whenever we are adding acid and water, so acid and water, if it is getting combined, it is producing a large amount of heat energy, which may splash out and it can cause harm to our body. It can burn our skin. So if you are taking a glass tube, we should take water first, then drop by drop we should take one glass rod where we should give drop by drop acid over the glass rod, so that very less amount of acid is getting inside slowly and it is producing less heat energy. Obviously acid and water, it will produce heat energy, but here since more water is there, it will reduce the heat energy, and in this way we can save ourselves from some burn. So the question is, how will you protect yourself from the heat generated while diluting a concentrated acid? So first one is by adding acid to water with constant stirring, by adding water to acid with constant stirring, by adding water to acid followed by base, by adding base to acid with constant stirring. Now by adding acid to water with constant stirring. So we are adding acid to water, remember it. Next is question number 10. Why is it important to balance a skeletal chemical equation? Now we always need to balance the skeletal chemical equation. Now what is the skeletal chemical equation? Suppose here I have explained about this copper and oxygen. Now if I write here copper plus oxygen, it forms copper oxide. Now here one copper is there, one copper is there, oxygen 2, 1, 2 here, there 1 oxygen. So it is not balanced, and that is called as skeletal chemical equation. And they are giving the question why we need to balance it, why it is important to balance it. We should balance it so that the total mass of the reactant should be equal to total mass of the product, which is according to the law of conservation of mass. So the mass cannot be removed, or it cannot be conserved. That means it can be conserved, it cannot be destroyed. Mass can neither be destroyed or we cannot make it, right? So according to the law of conservation of mass can neither be created nor can be destroyed. So that will be number C. So hope you have understood the 10 questions here. So in the next video you will see the other questions answer. Okay, thank you for now.